G'day folks, what is going on? It's Jacob. Welcome back to another video. In this one, I want to do a breakdown of what I call my lifestyle business operating system. Okay, now you might have seen me running ads about this. You might have seen some emails where I talk about this. You may have even seen the offer document for my Lifestyle Business Academy, which is where we work together to install this. Okay, the reason for dropping this now, I've spoken through this model in different ways on this channel, but I've just done a big update to it, and I'm in the process of dropping a brand new curriculum to help people install the latest version inside the Lifestyle Business Academy. Okay, so a few things going on, and wanted to film an updated version of exactly what I'm doing right now, provide some context, some background, who this is for, how it works, and then you can either take it and run with it yourself, or you might be interested in doing some work together to implement this into your business. Okay, so first things first, who is this for? This is for the person that wants to monetize their expertise, their intellectual property, information, frameworks, coaching, consulting, mentorship. Okay, you've got some form of experience, skills, talents that you want to impart onto other people, and you want a simple, lean, efficient system in order to bring in leads, nurture leads, and ultimately convert leads. Okay, so if that appeals to you, this is going to be of interest. Okay, now I've been piece by piece refining this system over a number of years, while selling over $7 million in information-based products. And this is the current version of it that I'm running right now, and that I'm helping my clients implement inside the Lifestyle Business Academy. All right. The Academy is a combination of two things. It's the lessons and frameworks and experience that I've essentially developed over the years, making all that money online and refining this system. And it's what I'm doing right now. Okay. And so you get the real-time model to ultimately implement, plus you get my support to do that in real time. Okay, so it's a bit of a, here's what I've done and what I'm doing right now in real time, so that you can implement that same system into your business. Okay, so with that all said, let me walk you through the Lifestyle Business Operating System. All right, ultimately comes down to 4 components. All right, we've got the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel, and the post funnel. All right. Now, let's go left to right. Okay, so the top of funnel is where we're really talking about generating attention, traffic, and we've got to focus on width. We want more people every day to know who we are than they did yesterday, because this is ultimately what's going to flow through to our pipeline and convert into clients. Okay, if there is a gap in your top of funnel for a period of time, you may not feel that today, you may not feel it tomorrow, but you will feel it in weeks and months down the track. Okay. Now, if you wind back the clock 12 months ago, my business was pretty much exclusively organic-based marketing, as it has been for a number of years. Over the last 12 months, in particular the last 6 months, I've been going a lot deeper down the paid marketing path. Initially, this was for more personal reasons. I just became a dad for the second time, having two little ones. I wanted to be able to run things more like a machine, more efficiently. And so I just wanted to be able to put money into ads, run it through a system, and ultimately have leads, buyers, and clients flow out the other side. So that's a big shift over the last 6 to 9 months in particular. There's been a big move from an organic focus to a paid focus. Okay. Now, that's not to say we don't do organic marketing. It's just been a shift in where I focus the majority of my energy and attention. I still help my clients with all the different organic playbooks that I've run over the years and that I've helped my clients run over the years. But paid has become a bigger part of it, especially for me personally and for my clients who want that little bit more control and are prepared to invest in ads in order to gain that control. Okay, so we've got paid marketing, we've got organic marketing, and then we've got these two down here, which are word of mouth and other people's platforms. Okay, other people's platforms is essentially where you might go and deliver a training, you might speak on someone's stage, you might go on someone's podcast, you might do an interview on their YouTube channel, in their community, whatever it may be. Essentially, someone else has already curated the audience that you want to get in front of, and you deliver your message, your value, you do a training, you do a resource swap, whatever it may be, but you essentially get your name, face in front of their audience, and then you get that overflow traffic. And then word of mouth is really where the system ultimately feeds back on itself. So you can see it does a full loop. This is when you become known for whatever it is that you help your clients implement, you get them results, people start talking about you, your name is out there, and the compound effect starts to kick in as the system feeds back on itself. Okay. So we've got paid strategies, we've got organic strategies, particularly focused on Facebook and Instagram. And then we've got word of mouth and other people's platforms. Okay. Now, what we do with this traffic and attention is we ultimately move it all towards one of two places. Okay. It's either going towards a low ticket offer, particularly the paid ads are going towards a low ticket offer because that funds the ads immediately. We don't have to bankroll this big gap in cash flow from the time someone becomes a lead to the time they become a client, or to a free resource. Okay. Organic content hits both of them. People see your content, they go digging, they might buy a low ticket thing, they might go through a free resource. Ultimately, what happens is people will go through both, but we want to run them through both of these so that they end up on our email list. Okay. This is the major asset that we own in this type of business. And so we want to be prioritizing growing this above all else. Okay. Another little cool thing that we can do here is once we've got this low ticket funnel set up, and I literally just dropped a video breaking down a current example of this that I've been running this year that I put over 1,000 customers into. You can see it in the flesh, is we can use these different lead magnets and put them in front of this low ticket offer, one master low ticket funnel. And so we can almost redirect the traffic as well. So someone might find you organically, come into your world through a lead magnet, but then they're going to immediately move into that low ticket funnel, which can convert them into buyers, right? But either way, we want to move them into the middle of the funnel with the priority being email because we actually then own the information. Okay. Now, when we get into the middle of the funnel, we're shifting our attention from width and cold traffic to warming up the traffic that we've acquired through our top of funnel. Okay. So here we're talking about nurturing, and here instead of width, we're talking about depth. We're building that relationship with people. We're educating them on who we are, as in you, in your brand, what you do, how you help people, the systems that you help people implement. And then the third really important element is that we do it consistently and we set things up in a way such that when the timing is right for the lead, for the prospect, we are there with the most suitable offer to solve their problem. Okay, so you could label that as omnipresence. It runs a little bit deeper than that, but we'll call it omnipresence for now. All right. And so this is where the majority of people in our world will hang out, right? They will read our emails, they will watch our YouTube videos, they will see remarketing ads, and we keep showing up, keep providing value, keep reminding them how we can help them, keep sharing client results, keep sharing our own results, keep updating our processes, keep making our offers more compelling, keep sharing insights and stories and wisdom. And this is where we put the bulk of our work into the marketing, and it nurtures and it nurtures and it nurtures until the time is right for the individual and they will step forward and ultimately invest. Okay. Now what can happen as well is, and you may be in this bucket in my world, right? People will come into your email list and they might see an email where you talk about your main offer. So in my world, that is the academy, right? Lifestyle Business Academy. And you might reach out and be like, hey, can I get the details? You see it? That sounds interesting. Timing's not right. And so they've stepped forward, but then they'll ultimately step back because the timing's not right. And then they hang out in here. And that's totally, totally fine as well. Okay. Now people can consume with more context about what that clear next step is, because this whole thing is ultimately moving in a straight line. We're moving all of the attention and traffic that we nurture towards one core central point. Okay. And so these are the three levers that we use inside the middle of the funnel. We use email, we use YouTube, and we use remarketing ads. Through these, we stay in touch with people every day through a daily email. We can go deeper on how we can help people through YouTube videos like I'm doing right now. I'm walking through this model. And then our remarketing ads can move people back to our core offer. They can also answer questions. They can handle objections. They can educate people. They can do a lot of things, but they're really, really cool because they're pretty cheap. And then they just follow people around, right? Now, these ads are only going to people who have already come into our world. They're not going out cold. Okay. So these people have more context. They already know who you are. They already know what you're all about. And we can set this up so that it's pretty lean to run. A daily email, 5 to 10 minutes. You do a couple of YouTube videos a week. Might take you, an hour or two. It's not about super high production quality. It's about educating people on what you do, who you are, your values, how you can help them, results, that kind of stuff. Okay. When the middle of funnel is really, really humming, it takes the weight off your sales process. Okay. And with this model, that becomes really, really important. All right. What happens next is we've had people come into our world. They're on our email list. They're starting to watch our YouTube videos. They're seeing our remarketing ads. When the time is right and they really want to solve the problem that we solve, they step forward. And by this point, they're pre-sold because they've been through a low ticket offer. They've been through some free resources. They've been getting our daily emails for a couple of weeks, couple of months. They've watched 1, 2, 5, 10 YouTube videos, and they've been seeing our remarketing ads everywhere, which are answering questions, handling objections, breaking down the offer itself. And so they've got all this information about what the next step is, right? The reason sales process has become really long, drawn out, and why people need to do 2 call closes or really, really long closes or need a 3-hour webinar is because the leads aren't educated in the marketing process. The more education about who you are and what you do and your offer that you do in the marketing process, the less heavy lifting you have to do from a sales perspective. Okay. And why I like to approach things this way is because marketing has true leverage. Marketing has leverage through the technology that we use. Marketing has leverage through media, through funnels, through code, all these things, all these higher level uses of leverage. When it comes to sales, a lot of people are just using more and more people, which is a form of leverage if you're the business owner, but it's a low form of leverage. Okay. And so I like to educate people on who I am, what I do, and my offer through the marketing process so that when they ultimately step forward, they know pretty much everything. And it's just a matter of, is this 100% the right fit? Okay. And so you now have pre-sold leads that ultimately come to you. The bulk of our leads these days come in through people just emailing, and then we'll send the offer over, which I'll talk about more in a second. You'll also get them coming through social media, through your content, and because you're putting out ads, or through word of mouth, people might DM you. They're going to be the main 2 places, either through email or through the DMs. Okay. These leads ultimately come to you. You might need to answer a couple of questions and make sure you're a fit. And then the way we do things is with what I call an invitation document. Okay. And this is just a really, really simple document. You can see an example of it here that breaks down what you do and how you help people. And so this is an example for my Lifestyle Business Academy, and it just walks through what I help people install in their business. And so this is exactly what I send over when people come to me wanting help. All right. And that's the bottom of the funnel. So here we're taking that warmed up traffic, the hottest portion of it, because they're stepping forward. We can also reach out to them and use some outbound strategies as well if we want to. But this is where we're starting to connect with them more directly. So it goes from being a one-to-many dynamic to a one-to-one dynamic, either an email, a DM. We're creating that connection, and the goal is to convert them into our main flagship offer. Okay. And if we've done the top and the bottom of funnel correctly, we can just send the document. We don't need to do a call. We don't need some long-winded process. We don't need crazy follow-ups. We don't need to do convincing or arm twisting or any of that stuff. We just simply invite them. We say, hey, here's the next step. Here's what's included. Here's the price. Would you like to work together on this? Okay. And if the rest of this is working, they'll move forward because they're already going to trust you. They're educated on who you are, what you do, etc. etc. Okay. So that's how the acquisition process works. That's the top, middle, and bottom of funnel, right? Now, a lot of this can be set up and kind of left to run. That doesn't mean you'll never touch it. You need to keep an eye on things, but with the right funnel, ads can be really low maintenance. Organic content can be done in chunks, so you can batch it. Word of mouth will kick in, and you'll get opportunities to get your content in front of other people as your brand continues to grow. So this is really a byproduct of the rest of the system. You know, these are set up once and then kind of maintained. The 1 email a day is really the active portion. But again, that takes like 5 to 10 minutes. And then if you wanted to add YouTube on, it's not compulsory, but it's very powerful. That might take you 1, 2, maybe 3 hours per week, depending on how far you ultimately want to take it. And then the remarketing ads are set up, and they'll run around from time to time. You need to add in new creatives and stuff like that. So it's really about getting the infrastructure set up once and then tweaking, as opposed to needing to do, make wholesale changes to it. So that's the acquisition process. It's really about automated or really, really as close to set and forget as we can from a growth perspective. This is where we're spending more of our time on a daily basis with emails and with YouTube to really, really nurture. And this is where the bulk of your audience is going to sit. And then we have the offer. We have a single offer that we create, and all that traffic and attention ultimately feeds that. And what it allows us to do is really just focus on one KPI. We'll start to learn how many people we need to get in front of our document in order to generate X number of conversions. And then if we want to scale up from there, we just need to scale up the number of people that see the document, which means we can scale up our efforts here, and we can scale up our top of funnel volume to have that all flow through. It's just one core number to track. I've done a separate video on that as well. Okay. Then we get into the post funnel. Okay. And this is where we get into delivery. All right. Now, the onboarding, the delivery, the systems are going to depend on the exact offer that you are running, but I'll tell you what it looks like on my end from an academy perspective. Someone purchases, they get a automated email, which has a detailed onboarding form. On the onboarding form, they complete an onboarding survey that's got like 20 something questions. We do then a custom onboarding review and tell them exactly what to focus on coming into the program. They're dropped into the community. They get access to all of the different support structures. They get access to the operating system to go and install. And all of that happens automatically off the back of the purchase. And then we've got systems in place in terms of calendars and calls and all that stuff to make sure that all happens without really needing to do too much. Either an automated system or my VA does it. So that really all I have to do is check the main question channel once per day. I do a call every 2 weeks with the group, and I do a weekly office hours session where usually I'm in the office here, and I open up a pop-up thread and people can ask me questions in real time. And those 3 touch points are my main points of support on an ongoing basis. I also do create the review for each person that comes through so that I can recommend the best pathway for them based on their individual application. Okay. And so if you look at the kind of total delivery time, there'll be time when a new client comes on, but then beyond that, it's 2 hours a week in office hours, which is me being in here. I can work on other things and I can just reply to messages as they pop up. There's a call every 2 weeks that usually goes for about 90 minutes to 2 hours. So that's 4 hours per month. And then, I check the question thread each day. And so that might take me 10, 15 minutes, depending on how many questions there are. So it's a very, very lean structure. Okay. You can also use this same model to ultimately move people towards one-to-one consulting. I've done that as well. That works fine. But I'm in a season in my life right now where I'm focused on more systems, more structure. Having 2 kids under 2, that was a strategic decision that I ultimately made, but we can set this up accordingly depending on what you ultimately want to sell. Okay. And then compounding is a byproduct of everything that's come before. It's a byproduct of getting enough traffic, nurturing traffic correctly, converting clients, onboarding and delivering, getting people results. Then people start talking about you. You might be able to bring on affiliates, and then that ultimately compounds. Word of mouth kicks in, and the whole system feeds back on itself. Okay. Now, the leads that come through word of mouth will move through this phase way faster because they enter at a higher level of trust because they've heard about you from somebody that they already trust. And so as the system starts to compound, the lead flow coming through will move faster because it's coming in with a higher level of trust. Okay. So that is the latest version of the lifestyle business operating system. If you want to take some first principles lessons from this, the probably the 2 biggest that I would recommend are 1, finding a way to automate your top of funnel so that that every day when you wake up, more people are going to know who you are. Okay, more people have seen your face, more people have seen your brand, more people are on your email list. You want that automated traffic. Okay, the second thing is build a deep middle of funnel. Whether you're doing calls, whether you're selling with docs, whether you're using webinars, I don't care. The deeper you can build the middle of funnel, the better your emails, the more frequent your emails, the deeper your middle of funnel content, the stronger your lead magnets are, the more robust your remarketing campaigns are. The more depth you build in here, the more weight you will take off your sales process and make your life even easier, whatever that sales process may be. Okay. So if you want to install this with me directly, now's a great time to jump into the academy. I'll put a link below, but otherwise take those kind of fundamental lessons and implement them. And I think they'll serve you very well. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.